In the Unresolved Problems segment tonight, a controversy is brewing over President Obama's decision to remember 9/11 as a national day of service. Some critics believe that marking 9/11 as a day for volunteerism demeans the memory of the thousands who were killed by Muslim extremists on that fateful September morning. Joining us now from New York, Fox News analyst and my old friend Alan Colmes. Now, Alan, I knew it was going to be something like this when you and I were back on television together. It was one of these raw meat subjects. And look, the 9/11 and the day of volunteerism, on the surface, oh, that's fine. Volunteering, isn't that great? But when I looked at the groups involved on this teleconference call, they had to organize the, get everything in place for the day of service. It's ACORN, AFL-CIO, the Color of Change group, the group that's boycotting Beck, or trying to, the Community Action Partnership. These are all a bunch of left-wing crazy groups,
Wait a minute.
are they not? What does this have to do with 9/11?
Let me get this straight. So your argument is it's actually a day of service and remembrance, which was put together by David Payne of a group that includes 22 different organizations, which consists of families of those who lost loved ones on 9/11 and responders who were lost on 9/11. That's who really put this together. Obama did sign a bill having to do with this initiative by a nonprofit group that was not done by the government. And you want to single out, you're quoting from a Spectator article by Matthew Vadum, who was on my radio show 2 nights ago, who can't think of one liberal he likes, by the way. And he's upset because of a conference call that on that call were the groups you mentioned, plus a number of other groups which are not necessarily liberal. And that is, who was on that conference call is not what this is about. This is about a day of service and remembrance, and that was initiated by a nonprofit group that was not a governmental group. Go ahead.
How is ACORN remembering
nothing to do with ACORN.
Islamic jihadists, what they did to our people on that day?
This has nothing to do with ACORN. This is initiated.
ACORN's involved in this coalition.
It was initiated.
They're involved in the day of volunteerism and remembrance.
Many groups, Laura, are involved in this. If you want to extrapolate
everyone that I'm looking at.
If you want to extrapolate
everyone that I'm looking
one
at
group
is ridiculous.
that you don't
Rainbow
like.
Push Coalition. Oh, come on.
All right, let me also mention some of the other groups in here which you don't happen to like. National Black Police Association, National Coalition of Black Civil Participation, 80 million strong for young American jobs.
Right.
Those are some of the other groups, but they're all a bunch of lefties. You want to just single out a couple of groups. This is an amalgam of groups of a number of people who are coming together to make it a day of remembrance and service.
What I don't understand is, what does this have to do with the fact that we had these fanatics who took it upon themselves to try to bring down the mighty United States of America on that day? They hate our freedom. They hate our way of life. They hate who we are. They hate our liberty. They hate our liberal ideas with a capital L. That's what they hate about us. So why this day of volunteerism and remembrance, that might be fine to have, but on 9/11, that just doesn't seem to, the connection, I don't get it.
I disagree with you, and in fact, I disagree with your run-up and your question as to why we're invaded on 9/11, or attacked on 9/11 in the first place. In fact, as was said, they hate us because of what we do, not because of who we are, and that's what was said by Anonymous, who wrote that CIA book, the head of the Bin Laden unit, Michael Scheuer. But the fact of the matter is that to remember 9/11 and to make it a day of service to your country, I can't think of a better way to honor 9/11. What is your problem, Laura, with making it a day of service and remembrance? What's your problem with that?
What's obvious is that a smattering of left-wing groups is trying to co-opt 9/11.
But it's not just left-wing groups. There's a number of other groups that I just mentioned, Laura. You are only mentioning those groups you don't agree with. Why do you have a problem with a day of service and remembrance?
Well, first of all, I just said that I don't. What I am saying is that it blurs the importance of what happened on that day. And what I think would be really helpful is that if we actually spent the day educating our young people on the threats to freedom and liberty, representative democracies that exist around the world, to women and gay people and all these, all these minorities who are threatened on a daily basis by the Islamic jihadists.
You educate people by service and remembrance. That's exactly what this day is. That's exactly what's going to happen here.
All right, Alan, we appreciate it as